Welcome to my channel Super Rare Coins. Today is best top 3 coins. Please don't skip this video, so let's get it started. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who guided the U.S. through the Great Depression and World War II, and who founded the March of Dimes, a charity focused on fighting polio. The design became an instant classic, symbolizing American strength, unity, and freedom. By 1988, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for over 40 years, but the design remained unchanged, a true testament to Roosevelt's legacy. Let's take a closer look at the design features of the 1988 Roosevelt dime. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The front also includes the word Liberty on the left, the national motto "In God We Trust," the year 1988, and the Mint mark, located just above Roosevelt's shoulder, showing that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse side, you'll see 3 strong symbols: a torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch symbolizing strength and victory. Together, they represent the ideals of the American people: liberty, peace, and resilience. The P Mint mark identifies coins made at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historic mints in the United States. In 1988, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 1 billion Roosevelt dimes for general circulation, a massive number. However, even among billions, some coins came out with unique errors or rare high-grade strikes, making them valuable to collectors today. The Philadelphia Mint is known for its precision, but like all minting facilities, small variations can occur. Double dies, misaligned strikes, and clipped planchets are some of the most sought-after errors. Now let's talk about rarity and condition. The 1988 dime in fine condition is still a collectible coin, especially if it's been well preserved with full details visible. Here's what collectors look for: fine to extra fine condition, slight wear but full details on Roosevelt's hair and face, uncirculated MS-60 MS-65 clean surfaces with strong luster. These can command premium prices. High-grade MS-67 MS-68, nearly perfect examples, very rare and highly collectible. And remember, any error variety can turn an ordinary dime into a small fortune. Now let's talk money. The current market value of the 1988 P1 dime. In 2025, here's what collectors are paying. A circulated coin in fine condition, around 10 cents to 25 cents USD, mostly its face value. An uncirculated example MS-65 can fetch between $3 to $10 USD. A high-grade MS-67 or MS-68 certified by PCGS or NGC could be worth $60 to $150 or more. Error coins like double die strikes, off-center strikes, or missing clad layers have sold for $100 to over $500 USD, depending on the type of error and overall coin condition. So, if you find a 1988 dime with strange markings or unusual thickness, get it checked. It might be a rare variety worth far more than 10 cents. Here are some quick tips for collectors and coin hunters. Inspect under magnification. Look for doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Avoid polishing or cleaning, it destroys the coin's value. Store properly. Use coin holders or capsules to protect the surface. Get it graded. A certified grade from NGC or PCGS can significantly increase its resale value. So, friends, the 1988 Roosevelt dime may be a small coin, but it carries a big legacy. From its deep historical roots to its modern collector's appeal, this dime reminds us that every coin tells a piece of America's story. Whether it's a pocket change discovery or a high-grade collector's piece, the 1988 dime deserves a spot in your collection. Next. The year 1965 was a turning point in American coinage. Before that, all U.S. dimes, quarters, and half dollars were made of 90% silver. But because of rising silver prices in the early 1960s, the cost of minting coins started exceeding their face value. People were even hoarding coins for their silver content. To solve this problem, the U.S. government passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from dimes and quarters and introduced a new copper-nickel clad composition. That means the 1965 dime was the first year of the new non-silver Roosevelt dimes, a huge historical shift. So, if you hold a 1965 dime, you're literally holding a piece of American history, the first of its kind in modern circulation. Now let's talk about the design of the 1965 Roosevelt dime. The design is the same one used since 1946, created by John R. Sinek, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. On the obverse front you'll see the portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The word Liberty on the left, the motto "In God We Trust," and the year 1965 below the neck. On this coin, You'll notice something important: there is no mint mark. That's because, between 1965 and 1967 the U.S. Mint removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding during the silver shortage crisis. On the reverse back the design features a torch symbolizing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch symbolizing strength. Together, they represent the spirit of America: liberty, peace, and unity. The 1965 dime was the first clad dime ever made. Here's the composition difference: pre-1965 dimes were 90% silver and 10% copper. Starting in 1965, dimes were made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. That's why if you look at the edge of your 1965 dime, you'll see a reddish-brown stripe. That's the copper core showing through. In 1965, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.6 billion dimes, all without a mint mark, so they were struck mostly at the Philadelphia Mint. However, a small number of rare transitional error dimes were mistakenly struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets. Those coins are extremely rare and valuable today. Now let's talk about what makes some 1965 dimes special: the error varieties and rare silver versions. Here are the most collectible types. A few 1965 dimes were accidentally struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets. These coins are 90% silver, weigh 2.5 grams instead of the normal 2.27 grams, and have no visible copper edge. If you find one, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Some 1965 dimes were struck off-center due to alignment mistakes, worth $50 to $200, depending on the error size. Look for doubling on Liberty and God We Trust, or the date. These are worth $25 to $100 depending on condition. Some coins were struck missing the nickel coating on one side, leaving a copper-colored surface. These can sell for $100 to $300 or more. Let's talk about what your 1965 dime is worth today in 2025. Here's the value breakdown. Circulated/fine condition about 10 cents to 25 cents USD. Normal face value range extra fine to about uncirculated XFAU around 30 cents to $1 USD. Uncirculated MS60 MS65 between $1 and $5 USD. High-grade MS67 MS68 certified examples can sell for $50 to $150 US or more. 1965 silver transitional error coin. These are extremely valuable. They have sold at auctions for $5,000 to over $10,000 USD. So, while most 1965 dimes are common, a few rare ones are worth a small fortune. Always check your dimes carefully, especially the edge. If it lacks a copper color, you might have a silver 1965 error. If you're a coin collector or treasure hunter, here are a few tips for identifying and preserving your 1965 dime. Weigh your coin. A silver error dime should weigh about 2.5 grams, while regular clad ones weigh 2.27 grams. Examine the edge. No copper edge equals possible silver planchet. Never clean your coins. Cleaning reduces their value instantly. Use magnification check for doubling, misprints, or minting errors. Protect and store. Keep your coins in holders or capsules to prevent scratches. Get it graded. A coin graded by PCGS, Sorin GC can sell for a much higher price. So there you have it, the 1965 United States of America one dime isn't just another piece of pocket change. It represents the moment when American coins changed forever from silver to clad metal, and that makes it an incredible piece of history. And if you're lucky enough to find a rare silver 1965 error dime, you might just be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Next. The modern design we see today. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the country through the Great Depression and World War II and also founded the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio. Now let's look at the design of the 2003 D. Roosevelt dime in detail. On the obverse side, we see the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt designed by John R. Sinek, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver. His initials JS appear just below Roosevelt's neck. Liberty, on the left, and God We Trust, the year 2003, and the Mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint in Colorado. On the reverse side, we see three symbols. A torch in the center representing liberty, an olive branch on the left symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing strength and independence. Around the coin you'll read United States of America e pluribus unum, and the denomination, one dime. The Mint mark indicates that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the most active and high-volume mints in the United States. In 2003 Denver produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes for circulation. However, even in such large quantities, some dimes come out with unique minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet flaws that can turn a common coin into a collector's treasure. Now you might be wondering, with so many dimes made in 2003, how could one be considered rare? Well, rarity in coins often depends on condition and minting errors. A 2003D dime in circulated or fine condition usually holds its face value around 10 cents. But if your coin is in uncirculated condition MS65 or higher, it could fetch between $1 and $5 depending on luster and strike quality. If your 2003D dime shows minting errors such as double die obverse off center strike, or clipped planchet, collectors can pay $20 to even $200 or more depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Let's talk about today's market 2025 coin values. On auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions, 2003D Roosevelt dimes in fine to extra fine condition typically sell between 10 cents and $1. But high-grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC, especially those graded MS68 or higher, have been known to sell for $75 to $150 USD. And if you're lucky enough to have an error coin, for example a missing clad layer or die crack, the value could jump significantly, even up to $300 or more depending on demand. So it's worth checking your pocket change and old coin rolls. You never know what treasures are hiding there. Here are a few quick collector's tips for your 2003D dime. Check the edges. A missing or weak reeded edge could indicate an error coin. Look under magnification for doubled lettering on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can destroy its collectible value. Store it properly in a plastic holder or capsule to prevent oxidation and wear. So there you have it. The 2003D Roosevelt dime may be a small coin, but it holds big history and hidden value. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, coins like this remind us that every piece of change tells a story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more coin stories, rare finds, and market value updates. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin in your pocket could be a hidden gem.